What's happening, guys? Welcome to the Player's Performance. This is a review I do about each player's performance as it goes along in Big Brother. You've seen me do it on Survivor. I did this season of Winners at War. Now, as you can see, I'm doing it again with Big Brother. Now, it's a little different than Survivor because their performance sometimes stays the same from week to week, and I don't want to bore you guys on me like, oh, today's the same thing. That's what it was feeling like. I know when it gets to the end of the game, things starts changing a little bit. So what I decided to do, somebody's here, is skip every other week. Okay, every other week I'll do the player's performance. We're getting to the end, so hopefully things get a little bit more interesting. Now, I have my little list here. Of course, I know the names, but I had Nicole lower on the list. I started thinking as I'm setting all this up that I want to talk about Nicole now and what she's doing in the game and what she's trying to do to us as viewers watching the game. Now, let's put Nicole in the shoes of someone like Dan, all right? Evil Dick, Derek. You know, great players that didn't mind stabbing people in the back. I see Nicole as a monster in the game of Big Brother. Now, she will do whatever it takes to get further in the game, obviously. Now, she sat there, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit. You guys that don't watch the live feeds, and all you do is watch the CBS feeds, you don't see stuff like when Memphis made fun of Ian and Danny and Nicole sitting there hysterically laughing, making fun of his autism, of his rocking, to be specific. And due to that, Nicole lost viewership. Now, what I think happened, guys, is CBS got involved and was like, hey, guys, some things are happening outside the house. You're making fun of someone in the house because we seen them go into the Dior. I'm almost positive, can't ever say positive for anything, almost positive that they let them know, hey, cool it a little bit. So then we see Nicole change completely her views. Yes, we knew they were in an alliance, but it was a side alliance. But we see Nicole change and start acting like that's her number one guy. She's crying, and she's doing this and that, and we see an episode of nothing but Nicole crying because she cares about Ian so much. Guys, that's production told her that would happen. That's what just happened. So what she's trying to do is save face. You know, she's trying to be like, hey, I got to do something. I got to act like that I love Ian. I can't just vote him out. Because on the vote, if you like him so much, this is specifically to you, Nicole, or anybody that wants to tag her, if you like Ian so much, then how come you didn't tie the vote? Tie the vote and let Danny make that decision. She's had a house. She has to break the tie. She didn't because she didn't want to in the first place. She don't want Ian there. That wasn't her play. But she wanted us to think that because she didn't want to look bad outside the house. Well, she's lost tons of sponsors already due to her actions in the house. In the game, if she act like that, if she wanted to be like, you know what, I'm just going to play ruthless, do that. You can do that. I mean, don't make fun of people, but you can be ruthless in the game, and then you let us know about it. But what she's trying to do is be ruthless in the game and fool us like she's a good girl. I respect all gameplays other than bullying. And I know some of you guys think I bullied, and I may have. But, you know, when I called girls a dumbass girl line, stuff like that, that's not who I am. That's not what I want to be. When I see myself do that, that's not how I want to play the game if I play again. She's seen herself play, had time to think about it, and she wants to be that good person that's the influencer that gets stuff on the outside of it. You know, that gets all kind of deals and makes money. Who doesn't? But you know, her trying to fool us. I have a clip, if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. It's right down there below, talking about Her specifically trying to trick us, showing us, oh, I'm a good girl. But then it shows us her laughing and talking about her acting. Teach me how to act. Oh, you already know how to act, Nicole. You're not that good of an actor to me. But yes, we seen it. If she was just gameplay, she would be considered, like a Dan type player. But what she's trying to do is play the game, and she's trying to be a good person at the same time. You can't do that. We will see straight through it, especially the reality TV family. That's what we do. We watch reality TV, and we see straight through that type of stuff. So I think that she could be a good game player, but I don't like her trying to bamboozle the public, trying to act like she's a good person in real life, because she's not. I know those type of girls. Those type of girls, it's all sweet and innocent. You think they're sweet and innocent until this shit hit the ceiling, and then all kind of, that's just disgusting after that. All right, yeah, so I'm going to move on. We have other people to talk about. I wasn't sure if I wanted to specifically talk about Nicole, do a whole video on that, but I don't. This is players' performance. Let's move on. Nicole's a monster inside the house. I'd be careful on the guy that marries her. Look what she did. She's 3 showmances in 2 seasons. Look at the person she really is. Just saying. Well, she's showing it to us. We're seeing it. Open your eyes. All right, guys. Let's move on to Cody. Now, Cody is playing an amazing game, my opinion. Yes, it's slow. Yes, we want him to do other things. Yes, we want them to make big moves. But for Cody's game, he's getting to the end. He's moving along. And nobody's saying anything about it. So you have to agree with Cody's game. Let's move on to Enzo. Enzo, I don't think Enzo wants to win any challenges, wants to win any HOH because she's in a good spot. And that's very smart. But you very rarely, well, you see it. But this season, it seems like everybody's gunning for the people that's on the outside of this big alliance that they have. And Enzo's not in this big alliance. And nobody's gunning for him. So he's doing something right. You have to appreciate that type of gameplay to where you're not in that super solid alliance, but you have the side alliance inside the alliance, and then you keep getting further in the game, and nobody's even gunning for you. Okay, let's talk about Danny. Danny was part of the crew with Memphis. We'll talk about Memphis next. My list, I'm going all over the place here. Danny was part of that little laughing crew laughing about Ian's autism, but when it comes to gameplay, she's making super easy moves. She's not making those big moves that could get her further in the game. She should have kept Ian. She should have went to the other side and worked that way. She's delusional if she thinks she can play with these guys. If they're gonna actually want to play with her, she's delusional. So I think that she is playing a horrible game, and granted, she's gotten a pretty bad spot having to do what she had to do, put up 4 people when she was HOH. I got some wind here, so that's what I'm trying to hold my stand here. But tell me, guys, I was wondering this other day, tell me in the comment section, what's the record on putting so many people up like she had to? Is it 4? I'm not sure what that is. I was curious to see if that was the case, because she didn't want to win, but she did, and she was a HOH. She's in power. She shouldn't. If she didn't want to win, she should have just jumped right there on the spot. She didn't do that. She went through with it. She won. Now she's in more trouble now than she was before, and she's a coward. She didn't use the extra HOH. Why? You need it. Because she's a coward. She doesn't want to play in the game. She doesn't want to play. She wants to just vote everybody off. That's easy. If you know the spoilers, you know who's up right now, and it's ridiculous. It's the same old, same old. And that's what she wants to do. That's her gameplay. Memphis. I said this before Memphis said what he said about Ian. I said that I see it in Memphis. I said he's that type of person. He sticks his chest out. He's walking around like he's somebody. Like he's better than everybody else. Memphis is a bully. A real bully. You wouldn't have ever seen me in my worst times in that house. You wouldn't have never seen me say something like that, like he did with Ian, and you're sitting there making fun of the guy. I would have never done that. It was questionable if Memphis even said the N word on national television. TMZ picked it up. Did he? Did he not? Then CBS puts out a statement saying he did not, saying that they have this equipment, this sound stuff, they can hear things, they can do things in depth, because they don't put up with that kind of stuff. And if that happened, I'm assuming that he would get kicked out the house, if that's what he said. So the official statement is he didn't say anything terrible in the house, with that clip. So he didn't. They said he didn't. I guess he didn't. All right. But other than that, he's just not. When it comes to his game, he's sticking to his alliance at this point, right? If you're watching the live feeds, you're seeing him bullying David too, telling David, "You're going to do this." He tells David, "You want to sit at the table? You want to sit at the table now?" They'll probably show this. "You do what I tell you to do, and you can sit at our table." That would work good with me. That's for damn sure. But David says okay, because David's trying to get further in the game by doing nothing. We'll get to him. Man, everybody's voting with the house. Let's vote with the house. Let's do whatever the house wants. And now the people that was voting with the house the beginning of the game, now look where they're sitting. Now look where Devon, look where you, Davon, Day, look where you are now. Look where you are now. All right, guys, to me, and some of you may not like me saying this, but she's playing the worst game than all of them. She is playing with her heart, wholeheartedly. She's not playing the game. Everything that she does. You're not in my alliance, but you're my friend. I'm going to save you. I'm not going to vote for you because you're the same color as me. I'm going to save you. It is all heart. That's admirable, yes. But this is the game of Big Brother. This is a hard game that you have to play. When you go in there with your heart wide open, that's just not how you do that. It's just not how you play, man. Maybe you could get to the end like that. I don't know. Then you would be, yes, if you do, then your social game's pretty tight. But it's hard to do it that way. I disagree with her game. I think it's terrible. I think she's doing terrible. Tyler. Tyler's starting to, he was in trouble. Now he's not in trouble. Danny had her shot. I cannot wait to the day Tyler takes out Danny. Can't wait. I can't wait now. Because you had your shot, Danny. You had your shot. You missed. I'm friends with Evil Dick. So, it is a possibility that my kids do one of these games one day. My nephew did. It is a possibility that happens. You seen what I said. I love Brandon. But you seen what I said when Brandon did what he did. I didn't agree with it. I thought it was a terrible gameplay. What do you want me to do? Say, oh, good job. Terrible move. Nah, not a bad move. Just a good job. Congratulations. Yes, he went out there. He played a super hard game. That's not easy to do. And then he gives his idol away to some random guy. He regrets that. Of course he does. But if my own child was out there, I'd be like, what was you thinking? What was you doing? And I'm going to tell him that before they play. I wonder what Evil Dick thinks about Danny's gameplay. I'm just saying. It's like, what is she doing? Go after Tyler. Take out the target now. Take him out now. It's like a sniper on a target. And then you're like, not yet. I'll wait and do that tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Do it now. Next. David. I'm sorry. I made a big mistake. Day's not the worst player right now. It's David. David doesn't know how to play the game. He doesn't know the terms of the game. Like, I'm surprised he knows what HOH is. Like, there was some term, I forgot what it was, that he didn't even know what it meant. He was asking, what is that? He doesn't know the layout of the game. You know, I can tell you right now, I've only watched a couple of seasons all the way through of Big Brother. And if I was to play Big Brother, I would watch it season after season after season, because I completely don't yet grasp like I want to. Yes, I understand the terms of the game, but I want to grasp it to where I can change it. That I can do something in that game that changes everything forever, like I did somewhere before. So, him sitting in, even in quarantine for 2 weeks before the game started, they gave me tapes, guys, to watch. CBS did. So why wouldn't they give David tapes to watch of the Big Brother seasons so he can grasp it? So he can understand it, man. So he went in that house not knowing nothing. I guarantee he hasn't watched the entire season all the way through. That's embarrassing. But that's for casting to be embarrassed. Entertainment, he's giving us a little bit of entertainment. The guy can cry on cue. I mean, alligator tears on cue. Just like that. It's very impressive that he can do that. But other than that, no. We'll move on. Next, Kevin. Kevin seems to be in a bad spot every single week. And he's still in the house. That's the type of player, if he takes his... That's the type of player that if he gets all the way to the end of the game, he can win. You right now, you look at it and you're like, I don't know, you know. He doesn't have an alliance. He didn't start with an alliance from the get-go, so it puts him in a bind right now. Ian went home because he never started an alliance, a solid alliance. So he went home. He waited. He said, wait. Julie Chen was like, so you think that's a good strategy, waiting? Always, he said. Always. No, obviously not. It didn't work for you this time, Ian. I know we switched from Kevin to Ian, but we'll talk about both at the same time. Ian, you know, that's not a good strategy. If you're going to go in there, you want to work something immediately. If you sit back and you become someone's easy target because he's not in an alliance with anybody, and Julie knows that. That's why she asked him that question. If he thought that was a good strategy, and he said for him, always. It's not. Kevin, yeah, he's I would be impressed to see Kevin all the way to the end. If he gets to the end, Kevin's the one that I kind of want to win the game, because it's, you know, you got to imagine, I've never been in that situation to where you're always in trouble, but you have to imagine the mental breakdown that has on an individual, always, you know, being on the outs, always being lonely, always thinking you're by yourself, nobody has your back. Kind of feel sorry for the guy because of that. He seems like a great guy. So I personally would like to see him get further and further. But before you know it, you'll see him in the final 5. Then all of a sudden, that core 6 alliance, you need to break that up somehow. So they could use somebody like him to break it up. Okay, let's move on to Christmas. Everybody knows at Christmas, she was one of my favorites going into the game. But she's not really doing anything right now. She is the kind of girl that you want on your side when it comes to that core alliance, because she doesn't flip on her alliance. Obviously, until the time comes where she has to. She just stays loyal to her alliance all the way through the game. She's like a CIA agent that's like, no, I'm just a loyal CIA agent that I'm going to stay true to this, and that's it. I'm not going to do nothing else. When it comes to challenges, I think that we're about to see Christmas go on a run. She's already won a couple of challenges. I've seen a few challenges I think she could have won, especially the one with the thing where they're holding on and it leans. Those are the type I want to see her do an endurance challenge and to see what she really has, because we didn't get to see that yet. I'm excited to see something like that. It sucks they did that challenge because I wanted to see her do that challenge. But anyway, gameplay, you know, she sticks with her alliance. Got to appreciate that. But other than that, she's not really doing anything. I could see her getting to the end, though. Because who wouldn't take her to the end when all she did was float and take out other people outside her alliance? All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I'm going to do my players' performance every other week until it gets super interesting, which that could happen. So just hit that notification bell so you would know when I drop my players' performance. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're staying the same, up and down and up and down. We can't seem to get past 34,200. It's like stay 230, 190, 240. It's going up and down. And I think that's due to the people that only watch me on Survivor. They didn't know I was going to do all this, doing other things. So, you Big Brother fam, I really appreciate you subscribing because it helps me get over that hump. We are doing all things Big Brother right now. Which the challenge is about to start. We have our crew, the reality. They're on every day. We have Cam is on. He has his show after every episode, other than the live episode. That's mine with the Surviving Big Brother. We try to get a guest every time. Sometimes the guests flake on us and leave. So you have to just keep in touch to see what's going to happen, if we're going to have a guest or not. So I appreciate you guys watching. That's all I got for you. Till next time, keep hope alive.